So then talking about your brand with the Filthy Hobbyist, you would say you teach some of these, you teach in a way that is eco.
I definitely, yeah, I mean, like, I had elements of definitely ecological way before I spoke with Greg and, talked to him about it. And now I understand the science more of why I was doing, why it works. So I'm just, building off of that. I mean, I still I teach by like mainstream standards, I teach hybrid, so to speak, right? Like showing technique.
Yeah.
But I feel like from what I've seen anyways, anecdotally, from different coaches around the world, even people who are trying to do hybrid, like even I watch B teams guys all the time and I'm like, oh, yeah, like this is the way they implemented it.
Yeah.
But I just think the way people are implementing it, I would say communication wise, like they can definitely improve it. If the result is there, I can't really argue it because the result is there. But yeah, I definitely have like elements of it. I wouldn't say it is like the one all be all approach. It's just an interpretation of the literature based on anecdotal evidence that I've had teaching it in privates, on online and in person and doing it for years and, my past experiences. But it's not like a one set approach.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. It's not like I don't put it on a pedestal.
Yeah,
I don't think it's about the approach. Yeah.
Right. So then with your whole Filthy Hobbyist brand, you're trying to attract or, target guys who are, I only train 2 to 3 times a week, but I want to be good at jiu-jitsu. And a lot of these guys struggle with that traditional approach of like, I struggle to learn this. And your way of, at least the way you coach, you talk about objectives a lot.
Yeah.
My objective when I'm in this position is I want to keep the bottom person flat. And I think for me, at least, that's made me progress a lot faster because I don't have to think about a million things at once.
Yeah.
Do you think that accelerates most people on the mats if they're only able to train like they're in that hobbyist category? Like, do you think it helps them out more
than competitors, or just helps them out?
It helps them out more than the traditional approach.
2000%. Like, I cannot understand people in jiu-jitsu, like the reasoning and the dogmatism towards like holding on to an approach so tight. Even with eco, I see guys like this, but I can tell you objectively, teaching ecological forces your students to focus on small battles in specific areas with an overarching broad goal. And just by them being able to, get rid of all of this sensory overload from hyper focusing on 1,000 different steps, and by putting them in a live scenario and doing it, like you do it once, it doesn't mean anything, but you do it 3 times a week, 6 times a week, and you do that for a month, and then 2 months, and then 3 months, within 90 days, like within literally like within honestly like a day, it like they see results, short-term results, obviously, but within 90 days, you kind of like, you understand like, oh, why did I ever fucking learn the other way before?
Yeah.
And once again, the emphasis now is on the method, because if most people are still, and especially in America, all over the world actually, if they're still using this approach to teaching, like let's say 80% of the schools are still using this approach, then it's like you have to force a different method on them. But once the status quo has changed where everybody is on board, and they don't have to do it the way Greg does it, or the way I do it, or the way Dima does it, or Kivan. It can be their own interpretation. But once everybody's doing this, then you really find out what is separating the different coaches. Is it the approach, or is it the individual? And for me, it always comes back down to the individual.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, if everybody else isn't on board, it's like, it's still the individual, because they have the peace of mind to say, hey, the traditional method isn't fucking working.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like it's definitely helping all hobbyists anywhere in the world. Like I think you don't even need to speak English. The person can speak, your student can speak a different language, And by simply implementing this methodology, they will see crazy results. And you don't even have to like overcomplicate explaining stuff to them, right?
Yeah. That's interesting you mentioned the status quo, because I was going to ask about that. Like, is there a point that you think that the ecological, or whatever you want to refer to it as, loses its edge because it's used by everybody, or a significant percentage?
I mean, that all depends on how fast it also could be a fad. And I do think also like the way that people are marketing it online, because I've trained at CLA schools, or I've seen their classes. I think most guys who are trying to implement this, they're terrible at, like, they're just copying. Like, they don't even understand what they're saying. They sound like parrots. They read a book. Oh, I know it. They listen to Greg on a podcast. Oh, I know it. But it's like, were you spending years in the gutter? Like, were you like, I didn't talk to my parents for 5 years. I didn't talk to my brothers for 3 years. All this time, like, this was my own emotional problem, but I was working, man. I was like working even when I was abroad, like working 2 different jobs, studying jujitsu, analyzing tape, training, coaching in person. Are you putting in that much work towards understanding what it means to either be a high level competitor or be a high level coach? And I don't think most of these guys are. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it could be a fad because there's a lot of bad guys promoting it, or not bad guys, but like they're not as skilled. Yeah. But it also depending on how long it takes to really catch on with the rest of the world, I think it'll take 15 years for it to become overly saturated. By the time it happens, you'll have kids, I'll have kids. Yeah. But by the time it's mainstream, for sure. Right.